Welcome everyone for a new episode of the New Worker TV on the topic of remote work. And we will start with just a quote from one of our contacts in our network who say that work is not a place to go but more a state of mind. Indeed, as the ways of working are changing rapidly these days on a global level, I would say, we just don't have to work anymore in a physical location or just take the train or your car to go to the office. You can start a business or work with different employees from where you are, from anywhere, through different devices, but it involves a big shift in our mindset and skill set, I would say. Can you say more about that?
Yeah, it's really important because school and universities are still very much focused on that localized kind of thing, is that you need to go to a brick and mortar building and be there at a certain time. So I think that puts you in the wrong mindset, because now it is so the case that, for instance, if you need a website designer, it can be someone from Australia helping you or someone from India. It doesn't matter. If you need the new logo, someone from Chile can provide your logo without meeting in person. And more businesses are becoming global, so they just pick the best talent from wherever they are, and that's where they work from. So it's really, in order to do that, you need to make sure that you can yourself work in an environment like that. Yeah, so that means that you need to learn the digital tools, that you need to have your Wi-Fi connection, that you need to be comfortable in using communication technologies. So all of these things you need to make sure that you can use, because if you only can work in a, let's say, in a brick and mortar location and whatever, you're seriously limiting yourself, and people will not be inclined to hire you either as a freelancer or as an employee.
Yeah. For instance, just take how we hire or sell whatever you want. It's changing because of these different practices and digital tools, right? It's not the same old ways of doing those things. Of course, you still need some life skills for selling or being people, but it's changing how you use your, for instance, the CRM, how you approach people, how you build relationship, because you need to use those tools before or after you meet them in person.
Yeah, and even some of those things are becoming more important, other things less important. But you really, yeah. And at the same time, like we said in one of our previous shows, is like, well, that has an impact on the number of hours you work, on which hours you work, because life and work are blurring because of your 7 by 24 constantly on. So you need to take care of yourself in a different way. Yeah, and I could still recall when my father was working, and that when he left his office at 5 p.m., he went home, and even if he wanted to, he could not work at home because that was finished. So now we come in a total different environment. So and that is growing even more and more, because I can choose my colleagues, I can choose my employees, I can choose my partners basically from anywhere. So if you say I only want to work in an office where I'm at 9 behind my desk, then you're seriously limiting your possibilities.
Absolutely. And why is much needed to work in remote teams or projects these days?
Well, because I think any business is a global business these days. Because yeah, even you might think that if you have a local coffee shop, well, you might source your coffee from a country in the middle of Africa or from Brazil, or everything is totally global at the moment. So you really need to understand that. So that is how the way of working is. That's the way of how communicating is, and yeah, that's where we come to another item is like, well, you need to understand cultures. You need to be able to speak the language, which is mostly English. But
Yeah.
again, if you're not able to do that, then again, you're limiting yourself. So we really at the new ABC want people to be unlimited and to really to grow and flourish. But that means that you have to adapt well to that new environment, and that is not in the future. That environment is here now.
Yeah, absolutely. And even for innovation, if you can just collaborate and co-create and learn with people from different backgrounds and perspectives and ideas, that's how you make things exciting, and you can have also an impact, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what we experience through working with people from Mexico to some people in Europe or in Asia, you know. So that's why remote work is much needed and can be done at a low or zero cost too these days. So we encourage you to test that in small projects, you know, because it doesn't have to be in a big organization or in a startup. You know, you can just start from where you are and with some ideas and few people, and that's it. So stay tuned for another episode in 2 days, and have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.